Good evening, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Mother is back, and I want to talk about sinking funds. Okay, so a sinking fund, as you know, is money set aside each month for specific saving goals with the intent to spend it. That's why it's sinking. Okay, this is not something that's going to be stable and you're going to keep like an emergency fund, throughout your life or always, stacked up. And this is also not something that's like a little buffer. This is with the intent to be able to afford certain life goals financially. Used for things like vacations, large purchases, a down payment on a home, or major life events like a new apartment, wedding, moving, a baby, also can be used to pay off debt. So, a sinking fund, and it helps to avoid debt as well, is made so that, like how you might want a new car. Instead of like getting a loan for it, you just save up over time to be able to afford that $30,000 car, or $15,000 car, or $10,000 used car, etc. And like a wedding, instead of taking out loans for weddings, because people go into debt, believe it or not, for weddings, and it's like really expensive, you and your spouse can save up for that, right? And like for a new home, maybe you want to save for a down payment, right? Over time, within like a good 3 to 5 years, you're saving money aside specifically for a house, things like that. Also, like to help you move to a location. So let's say that you know that you're going to be graduating college soon. Perhaps you're saving up money for your a new apartment that you know you're going to be moving into when you get hired. Um, so things like that. And it helps avoid debt because you're already taking care of the cash equivalent. You're making sure you're able to pay upfront or a good portion of that purchase. And savings goals vary, okay? So example, let's say you're saving up for a wedding. Some people might only save up for 5K for the entire wedding, right? They don't want to spend a lot. Some people might save 15K. They want to go a little bit extravagant, right? For a vacation, even. Let's say you're trying to vacation to Italy and it only costs you like $2,000 for like a whole week there and the plane ticket included, all that. But when you go to Thailand, it costs more, like 5K. So things like that, and depending on how long you're staying, and the type of car you might want to save up for, right? A used car could cost, let's say, 10K, while a brand new car of a more fancier brand can cost you like 20K. So things like that, like you're understanding that your savings goal will vary and the time that you have to save varies too. Like for instance, if you're about to graduate college and you're getting hired, you want to have money saved aside to move into your apartment from your parents' house, right? That's also closer to your job. You might have like a year or to 6 months to a year to save up that amount you need for that expense versus maybe a baby. Maybe you and your partner are planning a pregnancy together or your spouse, etc. And so you have set a time of 5 years. After 5 years, we're going to start a family. And so within those 5 years, you're making the necessary changes financially and goals financially to create a baby fund, right? Or to grow some type of a fund that can support you possibly staying home if you're the woman in the relationship, or can support your family if you're the man in the relationship, where your woman gets to stay home based off of your income, etc. So sinking funds are made to be spent. Okay, this is supposed to deter you, my Roslins and Roskins, from impulsive spending. Yes, this is what a sinking fund is for. It is supposed to help you to have the discipline to delay gratification, to save your money so that you can achieve that specific goal with your money. Okay, the steps to create a sinking fund is open up a high yield savings account. Always going to say that. Organize, number two is organize your sinking fund goals and contribute to them monthly. You can also work on one sinking fund goal at a time depending on the time sensitivity. Like I said, so let's say you and your boyfriend or girlfriend just graduated college. You're trying to look for an apartment. Your first sinking fund could be based on having the money to move. So that's 6 months to a year of you both saving up money or you saving it up by yourself, right? The next thing, perhaps you're going to get married within 2 years. So the next 2 years are going to be towards saving for that wedding. And then, you've been together for 2 years, married now, in 5 years, you're saying we should have a baby. Now, 5 years, you're going to be focusing on your baby fund, right? So things like that. That's what I'm trying to say, my Roslins and Rosikins. And I think it's important to have sinking funds again because it creates a delayed gratification and discipline and helps you not go into debt because you're not impulse buying. Also, that being said, I want to also encourage you guys to look into high yield savings account with buckets. A good one I think is SoFi, Ally, Wealthfront. They have different savings accounts where you can actually like organize the amount in each, like basically it's like envelope stuffing but digitally within that savings account. So they have like different categories you can put like the money in. So let's say that you have $1,000 total inside of an Ally savings high yield savings account, and you want to distribute it where half of it is going towards, let's say, a future car purchase, and the other half is going towards, let's say, a wedding, right? So basically, it will split that $1,000 into 500 for the car, 500 for the wedding, right? And if you continue this up, both of these funds will have the same equal amount if you're dividing everything you put inside of your savings account between those two sinking fund goals. I hope this makes sense, but that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, again, this is important, very important. I hope that you all are listening. I hope that you all apply these things. We went over an emergency fund, we went over a rainy day fund. Now we're going over sinking funds. And I got one more fund that I want to focus on. Okay, mother is done. Ciao.